Does life have meaning? This question lingers like a shadow, touching everyone from ancient Greek philosophers to modern souls restless in the dead of night. Terry Eagleton's The Meaning of Life, a concise philosophical gem from the Oxford Very Short Introduction series, guides us through this age-old question with wit and insight. Today, let's embark on his intellectual journey to uncover the essence of meaning and find our own answers. Why does the meaning of life matter so much? It's not just a question for philosophers' studies. It's a deeply personal inquiry we all face amid life's ups and downs. Eagleton begins with humor, calling the search for meaning humanity's oldest pastime, yet underscores its gravity. Without meaning, life is like a ship without a rudder, adrift on the waves. Using literature and philosophy as tools, he aims to offer modern readers a map to navigate meaning. This book doesn't chase a definitive answer, but invites us into an open dialogue to explore meaning's many possibilities. Our journey starts here. What is meaning? Where does it come from? How do we find it in daily life? Eagleton's prose is a guiding light, illuminating the path through the fog. Let's step into his world of ideas to discover the sparks of meaning hidden in life's corners. Chapter 1: The Starting Point of Seeking Meaning. Why is the meaning of life so elusive? Eagleton opens by noting that the quest for meaning isn't an abstract philosophical game, but a core human need. He cites Aristotle's view, man by nature desires to know, extending this to a hunger for meaning. Meaning isn't just a product of reason, but a weave of emotions, beliefs, and culture. Eagleton suggests that the search for meaning stems from our anxiety about life's finitude. We know we'll die, so we crave value in our fleeting existence. Take French philosopher Albert Camus, who in the myth of Sisyphus depicts humanity's struggle with the absurd. Sisyphus pushes a rock uphill only for it to roll back down. Does life mirror this futile cycle? Camus doesn't deny meaning, but proposes embracing the absurd and creating personal value through choices and actions. Eagleton agrees, arguing that meaning isn't externally bestowed, but arises from our decisions and deeds. For instance, Swedish filmmaker Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal shows a knight playing chess with death, seeking life's meaning, and finding solace in fleeting connections with others. This self-generated meaning offers a foothold against life's impermanence. Why is the search for meaning so urgent in modern times? Eagleton explains that industrialization and secularization have eroded traditional religious answers, and while science reveals cosmic laws, it can't fill our spiritual void. Modern people are like wanderers in a fog, yearning for a guiding light. He points to 19th century Britain's Industrial Revolution, where the working class lost the sense of belonging from traditional communities, making meaning feel out of reach. Similarly, the two world wars of the 20th century led people to question existence's value. As German poet Paul Celan wrote, "Death is a master from Germany." Eagleton believes this book is tailored for modern readers, using philosophy's reason and literature's warmth to light the path to meaning. The quest for meaning is also tied to our social nature. Eagleton notes that as social creatures, humans define themselves through relationships with others. In ancient Greek city-states, citizens found meaning in collective responsibilities through public assemblies. In contrast, modern society's individualism forces us to construct meaning through personal choices, a freedom that's also a burden. With humor, Eagleton writes, "Modern people are like shoppers in a supermarket, facing endless choices but unsure which kind of meaning to pick." This book's mission is to help us navigate this sea of choices. Chapter 2: The Essence and Multifaceted Nature of Meaning. What exactly is meaning? Eagleton resists a simple definition. He likens meaning to the grammar of life, not a single answer, but a structure woven through our actions, relationships, and beliefs. Quoting Wittgenstein's philosophy of language, he notes, "The boundaries of meaning are determined by use." In other words, meaning isn't fixed, but dynamically shaped by our lived practices. Just as language gains meaning in conversation, life takes shape through our choices and actions. Eagleton distinguishes between two types of meaning: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic meaning is the satisfaction we feel in daily life, like finishing a task or spending time with family. Extrinsic meaning points to larger frameworks, such as religious faith, moral ideals, or societal contributions. He cites British poet Philip Larkin's Obad, which portrays an ordinary clerk finding quiet joy in routine moments, like a cozy dinner with his wife, revealing the warmth of intrinsic meaning. Extrinsic meaning can be seen in Martin Luther King Jr.'s fight for racial equality, whose iconic "I Have a Dream" speech not only inspired a generation, but became a symbol of transcendent value. Yet, meaning isn't static. Eagleton warns that it can shift over time. What once inspired us may later feel hollow. 20th century philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre described existential nausea, a crisis when we question the foundations of our meaning and face nothingness. Norwegian painter Edvard Munch's The Scream captures this modern anxiety about existence, with its distorted face seemingly asking, "Why do I exist?" Eagleton sees such crises not as endpoints, but as starting points for redefining meaning. He suggests viewing meaning as a process, not a fixed goal. Meaning's diversity also lies in how different cultures and individuals interpret it. In the West, meaning often ties to personal achievement, as seen in Renaissance figure Leonardo da Vinci's pursuit of value through art and science. In the East, meaning often aligns with harmony, as in Japanese Zen's focus on the present moment. Eagleton cites Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, "I come before you only to offer my song," reflecting a view of meaning through devotion to the cosmic order. He notes that modern middle-class culture often seeks meaning in consumerism, like buying luxury goods to signal status, but such symbols rarely endure, leading to emptiness. Chapter 3: The Three Dimensions of Meaning. Eagleton breaks meaning into three dimensions: personal, relational, and transcendent, each addressing distinct human needs. The personal dimension focuses on self-realization, like pursuing hobbies, career success, or inner peace. The relational dimension emphasizes connections with others, such as love, friendship, or family. The transcendent dimension points to values beyond the self, like art, faith, or social justice. In the personal dimension, Eagleton draws on psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's flow theory, describing how immersion in a beloved activity makes time seem to stop, naturally revealing meaning. For example, Italian painter Caravaggio, while creating the Calling of St. Matthew, poured his heart into light and emotion, finding deep fulfillment. Caravaggio's art was not only personal expression, but also a cultural treasure for posterity. Likewise, modern people may find flow in writing, running, or cooking, feeling life's richness. Eagleton stresses that personal meaning doesn't need to be grand. Everyday focus and passion are enough to ignite the heart. The relational dimension gives life meaning through connections with others. Eagleton shares the story of South African leader Nelson Mandela, who, during 27 years in prison, drew strength from friendships with fellow inmates and thoughts of family. In his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, Mandela wrote, "Love made me a complete person." This love sustained him through hardship and fueled his fight for peace after release. Eagleton adds that relational meaning extends beyond intimate bonds to community belonging. For instance, British village fairs, where locals share food and stories, create warm connections that give life meaning. The transcendent dimension connects to larger value systems. Eagleton cites Polish poet Wisława Szymborska's Under One Small Star, which expresses awe at the universe's vastness and human smallness, yet finds meaning through writing. Szymborska's work reminds us that transcendence can come through art, faith, or service. For example, 19th-century British reformer Florence Nightingale founded modern nursing, embedding her life and care for humanity. Her work not only improved healthcare, but left an eternal mark on history. Eagleton notes that the transcendent dimension lets us touch eternity within our finite lives. These three dimensions interweave. A person might express social care transcendent through writing personal while connecting with readers relational. Eagleton points to American folk singer Woody Guthrie, whose song This Land Is Your Land supported workers, blending personal talent, audience connection, and social justice. This multi-dimensional approach made his life shine in history. Chapter 4: The Traps and Challenges of Meaning. The pursuit of meaning isn't easy, and Eagleton warns of common traps: nihilism, extreme utilitarianism, and blind following. Nihilism rejects all meaning, as Nietzsche's God is dead suggests, leading to spiritual emptiness. Extreme utilitarianism reduces meaning to material success, like society's obsession with wealth and status. Blind following entrusts meaning to external authorities, like religious fanaticism or pop culture. On nihilism, Eagleton references Russian writer Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov, where Ivan's rejection of morality and faith leads to mental collapse, showing nihilism's dangers. Ivan questions, if God doesn't exist, everything is permitted. Eagleton argues that nihilism stems from chasing absolute meaning and rejecting all possibilities when perfection isn't found. He cites Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard's Leap of Faith from Fear and Trembling, where Abraham's trust in God, despite being asked to sacrifice his son, gives his life meaning. Eagleton sees this not as blind faith, but as an act of choice. Utilitarianism's trap is common in modern workplaces. Imagine Elena, a London financial analyst, chasing high pay but feeling empty at 35, asking, "What's the point of my work?" Eagleton explains that this emptiness comes from equating meaning with external rewards, neglecting inner fulfillment and social good. He quotes American writer Henry David Thoreau's Walden, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation." Thoreau's retreat to a simple life by the lake redefines success, urging us to rethink meaning. Elena's story isn't unique. Eagleton notes that consumer culture often ties happiness to material gains, like buying luxury cars, yet fails to fill the inner void. He suggests balancing material and spiritual pursuits, like volunteering or creating art, to rediscover intrinsic satisfaction. Blind following appears in 20th century extremist movements. Eagleton mentions German philosopher Martin Heidegger's brief support for Nazism, mistaking it for existential meaning, ignoring its moral flaws. This trap stems from a lack of critical thinking, blindly tying meaning to external authority. In modern times, social media's influencer culture can lead youths to chase trends, like buying limited edition sneakers, while ignoring their own needs. Eagleton cites French writer Voltaire's Candide, where the protagonist, after surviving war and deceit, learns to cultivate his own garden through simple labor. This suggests that independent thinking is key to overcoming meaning's challenges. These traps aren't insurmountable. Eagleton stresses that recognizing them is the first step. He references Greek philosopher Socrates, knowing one's ignorance, encouraging reflection and dialogue to examine beliefs. Socrates debated in Athens streets, guiding others to question assumptions and approach truth. Eagleton suggests modern people can do the same through journaling or deep conversations with friends to clarify their pursuit of meaning and escape traps. Chapter 5: The Sources and Culture of Meaning. Where does meaning come from? Eagleton believes culture and history shape our understanding of it. He contrasts Western and Eastern cultures. Western philosophy emphasizes individual freedom and reason, like Kant's idea of autonomy, where rational choices give life meaning. Eastern traditions prioritize community and harmony, as in Confucianism's benevolence or Taoism's non-action, focusing on balance within society and nature. Both offer fertile ground for meaning. Eagleton cites Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi's Zhuangzi, where the contrast between the vast kun fish and the tiny cicada shows that meaning needn't be grand, but lies in inner freedom and contentment. Zhuangzi writes, "The perfect man has no self, the divine man no merit, the sage no fame." This Eastern wisdom suggests meaning can be found in simple moments, like the tranquility of morning tea, not just grand achievements. Eagleton finds Zhuangzi's ideas relevant today. For instance, Japan's wabi-sabi aesthetic celebrates imperfect simplicity, with many finding meaning in minimalism, like tidying a room or tending a plant, connecting with nature. In the West, Eagleton again references Thoreau's Walden, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately." Thoreau's retreat wasn't escape, but a choice to simplify life and focus on inner fulfillment. Eagleton sees this as vital in a consumerist world that distracts us with material pursuits. He points to Denmark's hygge culture, where simple gatherings or candlelit dinners create warmth and meaning. In a globalized era, cultural blending opens new possibilities for meaning. Japanese director Hirokazu Koreeda's Shoplifters depicts a non-traditional family finding love and sacrifice, challenging conventional family notions. The characters, living on society's margins, find belonging through mutual care. Eagleton notes that such cross-cultural perspectives expand our view of meaning. Similarly, the Indian film Three Idiots follows Rancho's rejection of societal expectations, advocating for following one's heart, reflecting globalized meaning-seeking. Culture can also constrain. Eagleton warns that some traditions limit individual choice, like 18th century Europe's aristocratic focus on honor and wealth, suppressing true selves. He cites Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, where Elizabeth rejects marriage norms for love and respect, showing the effort to find meaning within cultural bounds. Eagleton advises balancing cultural wisdom with critical thinking to craft personal meaning. Chapter 6: Living a Meaningful Life. How do we realize meaning in daily life? Eagleton proposes 3 paths: reflection, action, and connection. Reflection involves examining our beliefs and goals to find what truly matters. Action translates meaning into practice through work, art, or service. Connection emphasizes coexisting with others to build meaningful relationships. Reflection is seen in Indian philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti's teachings, advocating meditation and self-observation to shed societal expectations and find inner peace. In On Freedom, he writes, "Truth is a pathless land." Eagleton sees this as a practical way to clarify life's direction by asking, "What matters to me?" For example, German psychologist Carl Jung, during a midlife crisis, explored his inner self through dream journals and painting, developing his individuation theory. His journey shows reflection can uncover hidden selves. Action gives life meaning through tangible efforts. Eagleton highlights Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, whose solo climate protests at 15 sparked a global movement, proving one person's actions can change the world. At the end, she declared, "You have stolen my childhood." Her anger turned into action, awakening public awareness and giving her life purpose. Eagleton stresses that action needn't be grand. Brazilian street artist Eduardo Cobra's giant murals bring color and hope to poor communities, starting small but impacting many. Connection comes through shared existence with others. Eagleton mentions Brazil's landless workers movement, where farmers collectively fought for land rights, forming tight-knit communities. This not only addressed survival, but gave participants belonging and purpose. He also cites the UK's repair calf movement, where locals fix broken items like clothes or furniture, building community bonds through collaboration. Eagleton believes such connections ease modern loneliness, grounding meaning in interactions. He adds that meaningful practice blends personal passion with societal needs. Italian chef Massimo Bottura's Food for Soul turns restaurant leftovers into meals for the homeless, merging culinary passion with social good. His work brings social value and personal fulfillment. Eagleton suggests trying new activities, engaging in communities, or supporting others' dreams to discover our own meaningful practices. Chapter 7: Insights from the Journey of Meaning. The meaning of life isn't a destination, but a journey. Eagleton ends with a literary flourish, quoting Shakespeare's Hamlet, "To be or not to be, that is the question." He reminds us that the quest for meaning itself gives life value. Whether through personal fulfillment, relational bonds, or transcendent pursuits, meaning lies in how we face our finite lives and create light in an imperfect world. Polish philosopher Leszek Kołakowski's story illustrates this. After communism's collapse, he explored human complexity, writing, "We can't escape the question of meaning, but we can choose how to answer." His life shows that meaning evolves with our growth. Eagleton sees this dynamism as life's charm. When facing setbacks or crumbling beliefs, redefining meaning often sparks renewal. Kołakowski's later work, Main Currents of Marxism, turned personal doubts into profound insights, leaving a legacy. Modern society brings new challenges to meaning. Technology makes life easier, but causes information overload and social disconnection. Eagleton shares the story of James, a Silicon Valley programmer feeling empty from AI development, who found meaning teaching immigrant children to code. James realized meaning lies not in technology, but in serving others. His shift shows that in a fast-paced world, consciously connecting with others re-anchors meaning. Eagleton stresses that creating meaning requires courage and openness. He quotes American poet Mary Oliver's The Summer Day, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" This line is both a question and a call to action. Oliver's nature-inspired poetry urges us to cherish every moment. Eagleton adds that courage means embracing uncertainty. 19th-century French painter Paul Cézanne challenged artistic norms with his Mont Saint-Victoire series, defying criticism to pioneer modern art. His courage shows that meaning requires stepping beyond comfort zones. The journey of meaning isn't smooth, often filled with doubt and struggle. Eagleton cites Spanish painter Francisco Goya's Saturn devouring his sun, which expresses fear of time and death, yet urges us to seize the present. Despite illness, Goya's late works confronted life's transience, offering profound reflections on humanity. Eagleton believes these struggles make us more alive, as meaning emerges in challenges. He references Japanese writer Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore, where the protagonist navigates a foggy journey to accept life's complexity and find inner peace. Meaning's diversity is its allure. Eagleton notes that different people find different meanings at different stages. Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan, despite poverty and illness, explored cosmic mysteries through math, leaving a legacy for humanity. Likewise, an Argentine mother, Sofia, finds meaning in passing down culture through storytelling to her children. Eagleton quotes Irish poet W. Yeats, "When you were old, how many loved your moments of glad grace, but one man loved the pilgrim soul in you." This reminds us that meaning is both a personal journey and a dialogue with others and the world. In a globalized world, cross-cultural exchange opens new avenues for meaning. Eagleton cites African Ubuntu philosophy, "I am because we are," which gives individuals meaning through community. This inspires modern projects like Canada's neighborhood sharing programs, where residents swap tools and skills to build tight-knit communities. Eagleton sees these as new expressions of meaning in a globalized world. This book shows that meaning isn't a lofty philosophical puzzle, but grows in life's small moments. It's the warmth of a morning coffee, the laughter of friends, or a moment of striving for an ideal. With humor, Eagleton writes, "If meaning were a dish, it's not a ready-made delicacy, but a home-cooked meal you prepare yourself." He encourages starting small, writing a thank you note, trying a new hobby, or doing a small act for the community. These tiny steps accumulate to illuminate life's meaning. Ultimately, Eagleton's insight points to a simple truth: meaning is something we create. As he concludes, meaning isn't something we find, it's something we give. Whether through reflection for inner peace, action for personal value, or connection for life's warmth, we can craft infinite possibilities within our finite lives. The journey of meaning has no end, but every step is worth taking with heart. Let's carry this wisdom and boldly embark on our own quest for meaning, embracing every moment of life.